All right, welcome back. Let's continue our conversation now with Donald Trump Jr. We've heard the rumors, but what is really in store for former President Donald Trump and the Trump family? Take a look. I wanted to ask you, Don, from a kind of a personal perspective, it wasn't that long ago when the Trump family was thought of as, the apprentice and, that type of thing, and you could go about your lives without being attacked every single day. Do you ever miss that, or are you happy to be in this fight right now?
You know what? I'm happy to do it because I got 5 young kids and I want them to grow up in a country that I recognize. I want them to grow up in America, not some sort of socialist, Marxist, fake utopia that becomes a disaster like it has everywhere else that it's been tried. So for me, it's worth fighting for. I mean, my father getting into politics was certainly a shock to the system. But honestly, America and our freedoms are worth fighting for. So I'm going to stay in the game. I have to do it. If that's what I can do, if I do it well, if I'm able to have a good soapbox to get this stuff out there, to at least counter a small portion of the very uphill fight that we are in, I got to do it. I don't have a choice.
Well, I was talking to one of my friends yesterday, Don. He's a big Trump supporter, and he was very excited about this idea of your father becoming maybe a member of Congress or becoming the next Speaker of the House, and you don't have to necessarily even be a sitting member of Congress to do that. Are these serious conversations you guys are having in the Trump household?
Listen, I've seen a lot of those theories coming around there. I think they're great, and I love that there's that enthusiasm. And again, I think that enthusiasm will continue to build. I don't know that I've had that conversation other than sort of like, hey, this could be a way to do it, just sort of jokingly. I don't think that's a real plan. But I think the notion of what's going on, seeing it, unless there's a couple other people in the conservative movement that really step up and can really do what Donald Trump can do, that we know that he can do. I'd like to see him do it myself. We need a deeper bench. It can't just be Trump and a few other voices. It's got to be a deeper bench, and we got to work on that. We got to get rid of the rhinos. We got to get rid of the establishment clowns that are never going to actually fight. They'll tell you what they want you want to hear, but never actually do anything about it. We need to put real fighters in positions of power, and that's how we're going to make this change permanent and not temporary.
Last question for you. We saw your dad in North Carolina last weekend. It was a great speech, and a lot of Trump supporters are very much yearning for the return of the old school rallies, the ones with you and your family and all the guests. Can you give us an update on that? When will we see not just Donald Trump, but Donald Trump Jr. and the whole group out there for these rallies again?
Well, I'm out there all the time, whether it be at rallies, whether it be on the ground. I think there's probably no one in 2020 that did more sort of in-person, events for politics or probably anything else. I mean, I did 104 rallies in the month of October. So, I'll be out there. I'm going to continue doing that. I'm obviously, pretty big. I do a lot of the video content on Facebook and Rumble and Telegram and those sort of things, just trying to get to all of the audiences that we possibly can. And so, follow me there, check it out, and I'll make sure to keep getting that stuff out there, and I will definitely be on the road because, again, it's worth it, and someone has to do it.
Yeah, somebody has to do it. Everyone wants to see the band get back together. And it is important what you mentioned there, too, about all those other social media platforms. People do have a choice now. I know that was the last question, but also one more thing real quick. Any update on the social media platform, the Trump social media platform?
Well, I'll leave that to other people. I'm not really involved in that.
Okay.
I have a day job and I got to do this fight. But, I'm out there doing it. And again, there's a lot of those people that, they don't want to be on Facebook. They don't want, so I put my content up on Rumble as well. So they have an option of sort of seeing it there. And again, that's not going to be censored the way it is. It's not going to be sort of hidden from you the way it is, seemingly on so many of the other platforms. I have to cage my thoughts because otherwise I'll be thrown off of all of the platforms, which they're always trying to do. So, it's a different standard. We're playing by different rules. Unfortunately, the set of rules that we're subject to is much more stringent than others. But we got to do what we can to make sure we're getting that message out there.
Yes, and I'm reminded every time I see the Ayatollah of Iran on Twitter, but yet still no access for Donald Trump. Anyway, Don Jr., great to see you. Thanks so much. We appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, guys. Be well.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.